Okay, so here's lesson 2 for solving equations. Okay, so what I'm going to do is quickly recap what we did in lesson 1. So we had questions like x plus 3 equals 10. Okay, so we still had an equation because I've got an equal sign. What we did on lesson 1 was you're trying to get the letter by itself, so you need to do the opposite of the plus 3 to get rid of it. So the opposite of that would be take away 3. So that makes that part disappear. So x is by itself, and you need to take away 3 to that side as well. So 10 take away 3 gives you 7. Okay, so that's what we were doing yesterday. Today what we're going to do is we're going to see questions like this. 3x equals 9, for example. Okay, now again, I've still got an equation because I've still got an equal sign. So the first thing I do is I do a method line. Now the difference between lesson 1 work and lesson 2 work is, can you see any add signs or any take away signs in here? No, you can't, because the 3 and the x are written next to each other. Now, using the rules of algebra that you learned last week, if two things are written next to each other, that means that they're being times together, they're being multiplied. Now, remember the rule, so you always do the opposite to get rid of it. So instead of plus 3, that's why I wrote take away from here, because that's the opposite of plus 3. So if these two are being multiplied together, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So to get this letter by itself, you are going to divide by 3, because that's the opposite. Okay, so if you divide by 3 on both sides, that makes that 3 disappear. So you get x by itself, which is what I want. I want the letter by itself. Then you also have to divide by 3 here. So see if you've still got your multiplication grid. Feel free to use that to give you a wee helping hand here. So 9 divided by 3 just gives you 3. Okay, and that's your answer. Now this makes sense, because if you change x for a 3 in there, you would have 3 times 3, which gives you 9. Okay, which is what you want. Okay, so same as lesson 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through 4 questions and then show you the questions and then give you the answers. So question 1 is going to be 3x equals 12. Now you might notice that I do like 3 curly x's for algebra. Try to do that. So it's like a backwards C and then like a forward C. That's the sort of x that I want you to do for algebra. Because if you do like a normal x, it looks too much like a time sign. We don't want that. Okay, so can you take a wee note of question 1? We've got an equation, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw a method line like this. Always do a method line. Now the aim of the game is to get the letter by itself. So we're going to do the opposite to get rid of the 3. So as I explained before, because they're written next to each other, right now they're being multiplied. So the opposite of that is divide. So I am going to divide by 3. So make sure you write this down on your method line. That gets rid of the 3 here, so it leaves you with x by itself, and you also have to divide by 3 on your right hand side. So 12 divided by 3 gives you 4. And that's you finished. So moving on to part B, 6y equals 48. So I've changed the letter this time. I've got an equation, so the first thing I'm going to do is draw a method line here. So you want this letter by itself. So the only way to get rid of the 6 is by doing the opposite, which is dividing by it. So we're going to divide by 6. That makes that letter, that number 6, disappear. So you've got y equals, and then 48 divided by 6. So feel free to use your grids to give you a wee helping hand. Your answer is going to be 8. So your full answer is y equals 8. Okay. Now you might notice the way that I've laid out these questions. So see the equal signs, they should always be in a straight line with each other, just so it matches up. So try your best to make your equal signs in a straight line like this. 2 more questions. Part C, 5m equals 25. So take a wee note of this. You've got an equal sign, so this creates an equation. The first thing we always do is a method line. And you're looking to get this letter by itself. So the only way to get rid of that 5 is to divide by it. That gets rid of the 5. So you're left with m equals, some equal signs are in a straight line here. And think of your times tables, 25 divided by 5 just gives you 5. Final example from me, 7d equals 21. So take a wee note of this. So 7d equals 21. First thing you do, as always, is a multiply. The second thing that you do is you're trying to get this letter by itself. So the only way to get rid of this 7 is by doing the opposite, which is divide by 7. So that gets rid of that 7, so it leaves you with d equals, and then you need to think your times tables, so 21 divided by 7. Give you time to think of that. Your answer is 3. So your final answer is d equals 3 in this. And for all of these questions, you should be able to go back to the question and double check your answer, make sure you've got it right. So if you change d for like the number 3 here, you would have 7 times 3, which does give you 21, which is what you've got here, so you know it's the correct answer. Okay, what I'm going to do now is show you the 10 questions I would like you to complete for lesson 2. So here they are. For each of them, can you write the question down, then make sure you draw a method line, write down what you're doing, and then write your answer. So x equals whatever it's going to be. So make sure you show full working, otherwise I'll ask you to do it again. So pause the video at this point, take a screenshot, and here are your answers. So you can double check your work. So once you've completed everything, can you please correct your work and upload a photo of it?